there, it's your trusted tour guide, Annie Hall for OurRecipeTree.com. So this little video is about creating a recipe tree. First thing to know is a recipe tree is a recipe collection. So the important thing about our recipe tree is that we concentrate on the people, and we've made it very easy to share your stories, your recipes, and your people in the form of a tree. Once you've typed your recipes into your recipe collection, that's the only time you type them. Then you can share them across multiple trees. Others can share with you. It's a very easy collaboration process. So, I'm going to show you a couple trees here. These have been left public for us, so we'll have a quick look. You can decide the level of detail that your recipe collection is going to have. So in this case, Jill Canwisher created a single tree member. So if you can think of it like a recipe box, she doesn't have files in between to say what each individual has contributed, but they all contribute to the overall collection. So they copy recipes to this collection so that Jill can build this recipe collection. This is the title. The tree is planted and managed by Jill Canwisher. This is the tree member, only one in this case. And this is the subtitle. In the top left, you'll always see the navigation. This particular tree, again, sorted by title, and it's a public tree. So let's go back to our public trees. We can navigate there. Now I'm going to show you the example of a gift that was made for me. Annie's Christmas tree. Again, title, who manages it, and this is my game. So you can see here, this is our story in the center. This is one of my bonus daughters, one of my sons, another bonus daughter, another son, and my wonderful husband. Now on any of these, I can click and see more information and that person's recipes. So in this case, it's my husband Ken, and we've got keto recipes that he's added for us. And then again, we have our navigation right at the top left. I want to go back to the tree. There it is. It's that simple. Now you can break it down even further. So we'll go ahead and look at the example of the Nielsen family tree. And you can see here Jane, who has planted and manages this tree. Again, title, navigation, and subtitle. And these are the folks on her tree. We'll look at Jane as an example. Again, you get to see some background on Jane, some wonderful pictures of Jane, of her boys, and her other family members. And again, boom, there's her recipes. Now, I want you to recall, this is very important. Right now, all of these recipes that you're looking at, Jane didn't have to type them again to be part of this tree. And if I asked her to be part of my tree, which I'll show you, she can simply send me a copy. That'll be in the next video, how to contribute your recipes to others. But it's important to know you type your recipes one time and then you can collaborate in any number of ways. So let's create a tree. So the first thing you have to do is sign in. I like to use my social media account, so I'll just use Gmail, which is already set up. And now we're going to share some recipes using a recipe tree. Okay. Now I'm only allowed 5 trees with my membership, so I'm going to go ahead and delete one so that I can start right from the beginning. Let's add a recipe tree. So I'm going to call this a demo tree. I'm going to give it a subtitle, which, as you know, shows up under the tree. And then you're going to select the background image for your recipe tree. This is simply an image that sits behind the functional portion of your tree, which again is a recipe collection. We've provided you with a number of options, but you can also choose your own image. So if you wanted to include, for example, a corporate logo or a family picture or a team picture, you certainly could do that. And then depending on your subscription level, you can choose whether you want this tree to be public or private. So I'm going to go ahead and create my tree. I can tell you right now it doesn't like me because I didn't pick a background. So I'm going to pick our standard background. There you go. Now in the center of the tree is what we call our story. It's important to note that this will not show if you only have one member. So let me show you this. This is important, this little information here. So if I want to use all of my information and my recipes on this tree, I have to type in my full name to use my profile. So for example, Annie Hall. And you can see here, the system asked me, would you like to use your own user profile and related pictures and recipes on this tree? If I wanted to use something other than that or create a subset of Annie Hall, I certainly could do so. But in this case, I'm going to say yes. You can see it just puts me automatically on the tree. When I go to view that, it brings all the recipes with me. Again, you only type once. Important to remember. So now we're going to go back to my tree. And I want to add another member. So I'm going to type in Easter Bunny, just as an example. Now you'll note that a lot of these data fields have if applicable. For the most part, these are fields that you would use if you were putting individuals rather than a group tree member. So I'm going to put favorite friend, favorite character, let's say. Okay, now I want to add a picture. There's a picture of the Easter Bunny. And you can put up to 4, just like any of our other image galleries. I'm going to save it. There it is. That little fella's on my tree. And now I can create our story. So I'm going to edit that. And I'm going to call that design team for this site. I'm going to say other. Technically, we're team members. Came together to build this site. Okay, it's that simple. Now it's our story in the center. If I go to view it, there it is. Came together to build this site. All right. All of these features and individual members that you see on this site are important because when you go to generate an ebook, and I say when, but it's completely up to you if you ever do that. But if you did, this would give you more opportunity and more ways to customize your ebook. Okay? So I'm going to show you one more thing. We want to add a tree member, and I want Cousin Jane. So you can see here, well, as I start typing, it shows me that Jane Berthew is, we have user profiles as well as tree profiles. So if I wanted to use all of Jane's recipes, everything about her, I would ask to use her user profile rather than a tree profile. A tree profile is a subset and may not have all of those recipes. So I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah, I want to use Jane's. The system will then send Jane a request to use her information on our site, on our tree. Say, yep, tells me request is on the way. It's up to Jane. If she says yes, she will automatically show up on our tree and we're done. Again, she only had to type those recipes once and she can share them across many trees. Okay, it's that simple. We're open to any questions we have. We appreciate your time. We can't wait to see your trees. And thank you for using our recipe tree.